When I think of loneliness, I think of the times where I felt like no one really understood what I was going through. Like when I solo travel and then on the ninth day, I'm craving for someone to talk to.
Oh, okay.
Hey, y'all relax. Y'all relax.
Craving for some prow. Where I remember I had to carry my food and sit on a toilet and eat recess alone.
I folded like thousands
Oh my
of straw
God.
hearts, right, for this girl
Really?
for her birthday.
Hi everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Hot Pot where we hop into different transitions in life. I'm Q.
I'm Joie.
I'm Nick, and today we are talking about something that every adult has experienced at some point. And that is, even when life is filled with the busyness of work, school, or social plans, we're not strangers to the feeling of loneliness. My loneliness is killing me.
And I... Loneliness is something many of us go through, even if we don't talk about it. And sometimes just knowing that can already make you feel a little less alone. So today we're diving into why it happens and how we can navigate it together.
Let's dive.
Before we dive right in, what does loneliness mean to you?
Have you actually...
Lonely.
Real, right? Have you ever been lonely?
Not really. Like.
Yeah. Can you stop it? Not every episode, no lah.
No, lonely
lah,
means
no
what?
lah.
Like you feel alone, right?
Is it because of banking that you're not alone?
Oh, wow, clever. No, I don't think I've ever had an issue with feeling alone. Like even if I am, physically alone or like I'm not actively talking to anyone, I feel like I'm quite okay. Even in those quiet phases of life.
Wow.
Wow, very deep.
Yeah.
When I think of loneliness, I think of the times where I felt like no one really understood what I was going through. So it could be a situation where I'm in a room full of people, but yet I feel so alone. Yeah, I think suddenly hold hands. You want to hold?
It's okay lah. I don't feel very alone.
Usually it's when I ended a relationship. And then maybe my friends can't really comprehend how I truly feel. And despite explaining multiple times, they were like, oh, cheer up, babes. You're going to be okay. The grass is always greener.
But is it because you want people to understand how you feel? Then that's where loneliness comes from.
I think so. I think there's that part of it. There's also times when I don't exactly feel emotionally alone, but physically alone. Like when I solo travel and then on the ninth day, I'm craving for someone to talk to.
Oh, okay.
Hey, y'all relax. Y'all relax.
Craving for some prow.
Way his thigh.
I think, like what you guys have already said, I feel like loneliness stems from being misunderstood sometimes. Like you need to be understood by people, and when the people around you don't, or there's nobody to understand you, or perceive you, or assure you, or add value to your life, that's when you can feel very isolated.
At the emotional level lah.
Yes, but I do feel like this then stems from you not really fundamentally understanding who you are. So I'm speaking from personal experience. I thought I was very sure of myself. And a couple years back, actually recent adult years, I went through kind of like a friendship. I wouldn't say breakup, but it was a pivotal moment where I realized that my friends never really understood me and they weren't able to give me what I needed and what I was giving them. I've never felt that lonely in my life. And that's not to say that my best friends were out of the picture. They were. But it was just me realizing that I wasn't really filling my own cup. I was relying on a temporary solution. So that kind of forced me to look into that. And then I realized in therapy that I've actually been quite lonely. Yeah, so then I realized I've been finding company and assurance in projects and friends, and maybe trivial hangs to just fill the void.
I want to ask Nick. So, Nick, sometimes you will feel like, hey, we very long never meet. Or you ask the other group chat, right, to meet. Do you feel like it's because you're lonely or you just miss hanging out with your friends?
I just miss hanging out with my friends. But I think the feeling of loneliness, as I interpret it, is that you feel like nobody understands your feelings, right? That's what we are kind of like heading towards in terms of how we define it. but I don't need people to understand my feelings.
Yes, we've
established
established that multiple
that.
episodes.
So I also don't know whether it's a case of like, is it healthy to desire or want people to understand your feelings? Or like, don't need.
I think at a certain level, we all need some form of a check-in. Not to say that if someone doesn't understand you, you don't understand yourself. But also sometimes when people disagree with you or they don't validate what you're saying, it gives you a moment to reflect and then realize, oh, maybe actually I am a bit deluded. Because sometimes when you're alone, right, it becomes an echo chamber of yourself.
Oh, I mean, the way that I've always approached it is that I am quite self-aware of my feelings. Then I'm like, but it's not the center of the universe. Then I don't impose that on other people. Lor.
Okay, so zooming out a little bit, do you think that loneliness is common in Singaporeans?
I think quite
I
common.
do think so.
Wow, you're very fast.
No, I do think so. Especially, I think late 20s, I hear a lot of Singaporeans or youths out there mentioning that they are slowly losing friends. Their social circle is getting smaller and smaller. And it's not because people dislike each other. I think it's just a lack of time. The alignment has changed over the years, right? Like you have different interests. And I guess that sense of loss of a friendship will, no matter what, make you feel a little bit lonelier than before, right? Because there is a void. There are people missing from your life who are originally there. And as you know, I sometimes host mixers.
Tell us about
We
it.
say a lot of times already. But anyway, with Lynette and I, we hosted a few mixers before, right? And actually, when we are chatting with these people after the event, they're always grateful that we are hosting these events because they find it so difficult to connect with new strangers, like strangers and people who they've never met before. So yeah, I think it's quite common these days.
Actually, the first time that I really saw it, right, was during COVID.
Yes.
Like your circuit breaker, people couldn't go out, people couldn't socialize, they were stuck at home. And then at home, if they don't have like people that are living with them or, you know, they are cut off from their usual social circles, then you hear a lot of stories about people not doing very well mentally and things like that lah. And the other bit that I thought was quite interesting is that generation of school-going children who spent the whole year in isolation during their formative years. I felt like there's a difference, you know, it's a very big difference. Like when they re-entered school, and then after that, you know, you see them progressing through to like now some of them are working and all that. It was quite a big change. And I feel like that aspect of how they socialize maybe wasn't as developed.
Question, when you guys were young, like I want to say like primary 1 to sec 1 or sec 2, did you all spend a lot of time alone in your rooms or out with friends?
Out with friends.
No, I always go cycling.
Yeah.
So not a lot alone.
No.
I don't think so. And also, I think having siblings helped. Growing up, I think like my sister was my friend in some sense.
No, then I maple, then I will talk to my friends online.
That's true. That's true. Because I was going to ask if you think that the rise of social media usage and how easy it is to like portray having fun in parties, right? That if you're not out all the time, you must be lonely. Has it affected the bell curve of loneliness?
I don't think so, leh.
I do feel like social media affects the perception of how much fun people are having, right? I remember having a phase where I didn't go out as much on Friday nights. And then here I am scrolling Instagram, right? And I see all these Instagram
Then you
stories.
FOMO.
Yeah, actually bringing back FOMO, right? I mean, it's a very cringe term now, right? But back then, I do think that FOMO is such a real thing.
Yeah.
If I don't look at Instagram, I don't think I'll feel as lonely as I did back then, you know?
Yeah.
But sometimes when I don't look at Instagram, then I feel more disconnected. Because then, like, whose stories am I going to react to?
No, but reacting to random stories is very different to watching people having fun in their friend groups.
Oh, yeah lah.
And especially if you don't have that kind of community or cliques, clique. Last time people like to say clique. If
we
you
don't say click anymore also.
if you don't have that, right, I think that sense of loneliness is very, very strong.
Sometimes when I'm scrolling on TikTok and I see someone say like an emo post. I remember this specific post. There was a girl and she posted a flower. Then she said, just saw the 4 of them go out and the group chat is quiet. And then immediately in the comments, a lot of people are saying this is also how I found out that they have a separate group chat.
Yeah.
So like no context, no explanation. They're all strangers. Immediately they knew what she was talking about.
Oh, I think I'll be quite sad if you all got a separate group chat.
A separate group chat would just
It's
be a
our
direct communication.
messages, yeah. Like we also have a separate
Like
group chat.
technically then we
Yeah.
all have separate group
Yeah,
chats.
you all talk about utility bill, then never jio me. Wow.
True.
Very hurtful.
True. We will do better.
Yeah.
You want to know how I feel?
It's okay, later we talk about it after.
Do you actually feel that part of loneliness, right, also comes from the gap between the fantasy of adulthood and the reality of adulthood?
Oh, I don't want to touch on that. People love sitcoms. They think that they
Everything's Friends, right?
Friends, How I Met Your Mother.
Like these are all shows built upon big friendships or like big friend groups and community.
Nobody go to work on.
Yeah, and you hope that you have a Ross, Rachel, or Joie in your life, right? We have a Joie in our life, but
Tribbiani.
but I think in reality, especially in Singapore, we got time to go each other's house, meh? That is the fantasy that is painted in our heads, especially with pop culture and social media or TV shows. Sorry.
And they only got one friend group. But then you all got different friend
Oh
groups.
yeah,
It's like whenever I'm like, hey, you all want to meet, then nobody, oh, you got dinner already or whatever. Because I only got one friend group. Right?
the silence is
I
deafening.
don't know what to say to that.
Are you asking whether the number of friend groups you have affect your loneliness level?
Okay.
Actually,
Yeah, yeah.
that is
Actually, I was just gonna say
I
that.
think it matters.
So do you all
right?
think that actually the number of friend groups that you have affect your loneliness level?
Hey, you copied my question, is it?
Because the way that you said it, like, I don't know whether
Great
can
question, Q. So
Thank you.
I think that it definitely does, because if you don't belong somewhere, you will inherently just feel lonely.
Because you spread a bit too thin, is it?
Yeah, as in even if you have a butterfly, you must have one plant that you go home to.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
very good
butterfly,
analogy. Maybe another reference is when people say that when someone is everybody's friend,
They're
you can't really
nobody's
trust them.
friend.
Oh.
A friend of everyone is a friend to no one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is the correct phrasing.
When someone is everybody's
Nobody's friend, yeah,
then
nobody's
actually
friend,
maybe it's your
nobody.
No, but I think the fantasy basically is that, like, if we're talking about all the different sitcoms, all of them have one friend group,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
How I Met Your Mother, Friends, is like you're all one friend group. But the reality is that your time and attention is split across different things, different social commitments across different friend groups, work, your family, and all of that. So I think that's what sometimes makes it difficult to really find or form that core, companionship that you see in a lot of these fantasies. I think it applies to dating also. I find that sometimes when your time is spread so thin, then it becomes very difficult to form meaningful connections.
dating, you spreading your time with who?
No,
Not you, but like other people.
No, as in, so it's like, for example, if you're single, but then all your time is spent on just like, oh, I need to go and hang out with this friend group, or I need to hang out with this friend group.
Oh.
Or I got work, I got family, then
Right,
you
right,
got no
right.
time to date, what?
Yeah, it's true. I think we can see this pattern also in people who are mixed, for example. They often say that they don't feel like they resonate with one or they
Culture.
truly belong in one culture.
Yeah.
Same with people who move around a lot. They don't have a home base. Then they feel a bit displaced. So I think it's the same thing in a friend, if you're always jumping between different friend groups. And I do find that it's common for it to be such that when you are not hanging out with them, they actually hang out alone also. You are kind of like the filler friend.
Ooh, I don't like being the filler friend. I don't need to be the main character, but I don't like the idea of, when people invite you to a wedding and then
To
you're like a
fill a
last
seat.
minute addition. Oh my god, Nick did that to me.
No.
Your Australia one.
Would you rather be the filler friend or have absolutely no friends at all?
Filler friends, filler friend.
You can work your way in.
True.
A lot of strategy.
Like, who do I need to kick out of this friend group so that I'm not the filler friend
Who
anymore?
can I
You
replace?
slowly expand.
Correct. It's a bit political sometimes.
Wow, it shouldn't be like that. It should never be
No
like
lah,
that.
I don't think someone needs to be replaced. I think it's possible to
Just make everybody like the other people less.
Okay.
Okay, don't need to minus. I feel like it's not
Kind of
finite.
scary.
You just need to be better.
The best.
We're not a toxic podcast.
Anyway,
But I do want to add on that I feel like having one strong core friend group is the most important to me.
Yeah.
yes.
I think with my friendship with like Jess, Ellie, and Cham, right, I will always see them as that one group that I can always rely on.
And also Joey and myself.
Oh, let's move on. Next question.
Okay, so I think the three of us are quite privileged on this couch to have core friend groups.
Yeah.
Have you ever met someone that you're like, whoa, actually we gel, but there's just no space and I'm too old and the friendship is too rooted in so many layers that we cannot let someone else in.
No.
And then
What?
you feel a bit like, wow, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, no. So actually something quite interesting. I realized this in recent years. I've been to a few weddings, right? Got no bridal party. Then when asked why, right? It's either the bride or the groom. They got not enough friends that they would consider close enough to be the bridal, like to be part of their bridal party. Then either the partner, either the bride or the groom, they just follow law, then don't have all. Yeah, which I thought was like interesting. But then it was said or explained in a very matter-of-fact way where like it didn't seem like it bothered this person.
However, there are other people who are bothered by not having a lot of
Correct. I'm
friends
sure
lah,
that there will be
Yeah.
people who like when this happens, then they, I'm gonna meet us, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's not just during a wedding, right? I mean, like on a day-to-day basis or weekends.
Yeah, but I think the wedding is more of just like where you draw a very hard line. Like, okay, who would I consider my core friend group? Then you realize that wow, you cannot turn up any names.
Yeah.
Then some people, I think, it might be quite affected by that, lah.
I've met people who struggle in that friendship department lah. I think it's no fault of theirs, but maybe there is a missed opportunity during that uni schooling days, right, where they could form a stronger like friend group bond. But when you start working, it's very hard to make new friends because everyone has their own community and their own like tribe already.
Yeah.
And like what Joie mentioned, we just have no time and space to accept more people into our lives. Like I've met people on trips before where I felt like, oh my god, they're such great people. I love them. But if I were to slot them into my life and to meet them frequently, I think I will be so drained.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not because I don't like them. I love them. It's just that I don't have time.
Actually, I've met someone that I thought, you are such a fantastic person through and through. You're a fantastic friend. Why is it that you have nobody you can count on? Why is it that the people in your life seem to be so terrible? And then I realized through spending, more time with this person that they were never this version of themselves. So the loneliness or being ostracized led them to change and evolve to become this wonderful person. So, and as I talked to this person, I realized that they are also aware that maybe they were not in the right place to be a friend,
Right.
to be a good friend. They were not really a good friend per se. And they also opted out of friendships that were not of like quality. So I think there are actually a handful of people who, yes, they feel lonely, but they are happy where they are because they would rather be lonely than feel like they're wasting their energy and time on people who don't matter. But then it's the same thing with dating, right? Like if you are so comfortable with your independence, you need to let go of some sort of comfort to make space for a partner.
Yeah.
In the same way, you will need to kind of, I don't want to call it settling, but I feel like the longer you go without friends and the more you enjoy your company, right? The harder it is to find someone that can live up to you because you are now finding someone that can match you.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like having standards, right? I mean, having standards in the dating realm.
Yeah.
Like you know what you want, you know what doesn't serve you, then yeah, you're selective lah, because like ultimately your happiness is the most important thing.
So there will be people who would rather be like lonely or alone than to
Deal with bullshit.
than to have like connections for the sake of having connections.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
if it's like, meet connections.
Yeah, because I think ultimately, right, if you go for these meetups and you don't feel recharged, you don't feel like you're happy afterwards, then isn't it very transactional or just for show that, oh, I have a friend?
So actually, do you feel that, our busy lives, especially with work and, all these different social interactions at work, right, tricks you into thinking that you are actually socially fulfilled when you might actually be missing deeper connection?
100%. I think that the feeling you get after a really successful work event or like doing something with a big group, like networking, for example, you did a lot of social interaction, but it might just be the first 2 layers. You don't actually dig deep. And yes, maybe you've talked to 100 people. They were all like 2 out of 10 That's still a lot, right? If you add them up together. But it's not a 10 out of 10 conversation. You don't actually ask the questions. You don't feel fulfilled entirely. And so maybe that can get you by for a week.
Yeah.
Then the next week when there's zero interaction, I feel like you will dip even lower, right?
And if anything, during work interactions or networking events, right, I would say it's a bit more transactional and small talkish. Like, oh, what do you do? Oh, okay, how long have you been in this industry? It's always about work, but nothing truly personal, I feel.
I think that's the networking aspect. But then, so recently, I moved into a new role at work, right?
Oh, congrats!
Where I'm in office every day now.
Oh,
Wow, shag.
every day.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't work from home as much.
How do you feel about that?
I'm okay. So actually, it was an adjustment. But then I felt like it was quite nice and quite, energizing to be collaborating with people in person. So last time I'm like, yeah, work from home is great and all that, which I still find that good work-life balance helps you get other things done and all that, compartmentalize work a bit easier for me lah. So I thought that it would be quite difficult to adjust, but then I found that those little social interactions, right, in terms of meaningful, like collaborative work, was quite nice. Because before that, I would just be like, when you work from home, you're just staring at your screen. You jump on a call, but the call, usually is very transactional, right? Because if a call or a meeting is organized, then there is usually an objective. But sometimes it's like working sessions and all that, you don't really have as
Like,
much.
it's nice to just roll your chair over and like, hey, by the way, I have this idea.
Correct.
I miss that. I mean, I honestly miss that because I work from home quite a bit. And quite recently, I told one of my colleagues that I miss having a desk.
Yeah.
And being able to just chat with a colleague and bounce off ideas organically. Because like what you said, when I schedule a meeting, then I think everyone goes into the meeting thinking about this one thing only. But there's no expansion of anything else. Yeah. So I do think that socializing at work really helps morale and your joy at work.
Yeah.
But it doesn't replace a friendship connection.
Correct.
Actually, who's to say that like if your life is only filled with the connections at work, like let's say you have a really fulfilling day at work, then you go home and you just make dinner, you watch your favorite movie, you chill with your cats, then you go to bed, next day you repeat. Who's to say that's a lonely life?
No, it's
Right.
okay. Yeah. And I think a lot of people find true friendships at work as well.
No, so I was just thinking about it also, like expats, for example.
Yeah.
When you uproot your life, move to a new country, and you don't have anybody there, or like if you don't have a network there, then you need to make new friends, ma. And your highest number of social touch points will be work first, ma. Then you try to branch out and expand, friend of a friend, what are you doing on a weekend. But I always find that so admirable. Because like to take the step to go into a country where you don't know anybody and then you need to start from scratch as an adult, like a working adult, and then there's the additional barrier of like everybody there who has been there for years, they already have an established friend group and then they are hesitant to let people in. So you need to overcome that. So I always found it very like, wow, these people are really very secure in themselves.
So, do you think that we view that and all these situations as loneliness because we personally have something to lose? Because it is impossible to miss what you don't have or you've never experienced, right? So if someone has never had a best friend or someone has never had a core circle or like multiple ecosystems they can depend on, then there's no lag, what?
Correct.
Yeah.
I think relationships and dating is the biggest clear and obvious example lah. Like you go from having a life partner or companion, break up, then suddenly there's this void. Then you're, wow, like it feels so, I'm so lonely. But then actually if you've been single your whole life and you've been okay being single and you've had an okay life, you still have like, different social groups and social interactions, then maybe you don't feel that as much because you don't know what you are missing, ma.
Do you think that there's a difference between being alone and feeling lonely?
Okay, so according to the UK-based campaign to end loneliness, loneliness refers to the emotional experience one has when one's need for meaningful social connections feels unmet. And for those who are content with solitude, they can be physically alone but not feel lonely.
I've seen social media posts of women saying, alone but not lonely.
Yeah.
And I think it's just being comfortable being alone.
Yeah.
And enjoying your company, enjoying your independence. But loneliness is more tied to the feeling of having a void in your life, I feel. Like there's a gap, there's a hole that you need to fill.
Okay, not to get emotional here, and I'm going to try my best not to, but okay, I don't know if I've ever talked about this on the podcast, but I was bullied quite badly in primary school and secondary school. And there were 2 moments where I remember I had to carry my food and sit on a toilet and eat recess alone. And I think it was because I was made to feel alone. I think I was made to feel like it is me against everyone else. And so as a kid, when you are thrown out of a friend group or you are made to sit alone during recess and then the tables are all full, and where do you go, right? So then it becomes associated with shame. And so then I think that's how it transcended into adulthood for me. I grew up with this thinking that if I'm alone, it means I'm abandoned, I'm unwanted, and there's something wrong with me. So then I grew this fear of eating alone. So I couldn't eat alone. I couldn't do things alone. I couldn't go out and buy groceries alone because I always felt like if I'm doing that, everybody knows, right? It's because I've been bullied. And I don't think people realize what that can feel like because it's a very simple task. And I remember hearing friends say, just eat lah. Like, and I used to ask people like, so you went to watch a movie alone? Like to be honest, I'm still very baffled that people watch movies alone. I can't fathom doing that, even though I'll be in my room watching a movie on my laptop. But I think it's still needing to let go of that trauma of looking like I'm alone.
In a public space.
Yes. But the thing is, when I look at people who are walking alone, I never wonder if they are lonely. I never wonder if, this person must be a bad friend or like she must have something wrong with her, that's why she's alone. I've never thought that. But somehow because of the trauma, I've always felt like that about myself. So it wasn't until like later adulthood I had to literally force myself to go and eat alone and watch people walk by and not give a shit about me as I eat. And I realized, this is normal.
Yeah, no one really cares about what you're actually doing. I think it's the same feeling of, sorry not to dismiss your feeling. Yeah, I think it's the same feeling of people going to the gym alone or attending a concert alone. I mean, there was a phase where I also felt like my friends were all too busy for me and I don't have a partner while everyone was dating someone, right? I decided to go to Bruno Major's concert alone and I was so terrified of that. Like, what would people think of me? Like, she no friends, man. But honestly, I think everyone was just having fun. And if anything, I feel like other people are so happy for you that you are so brave enough to, do things alone and just enjoy whatever that you want to enjoy.
Yeah.
Question pod!
What was your favorite subject in school? Art.
Okay, cannot say art.
Because you're art
Yeah.
teacher, artist.
Cannot say
I'm
English.
Art, the MTV
You cannot say art.
VJ.
You cannot say art, cannot say music.
Cannot say English also. Cannot say literature also.
Cannot say math, cannot say science.
Then what can I say? Okay, I also liked math before X came into the picture.
Okay.
What is the most embarrassing thing you've done for someone you liked?
Please dig deep. Don't give us some lame ass.
In poly, right, I folded like thousands of straw hearts, right, for this girl
Really?
for her birthday.
Oh
Is it
my
the skinny straw,
god.
the thin one?
Yeah, and then to the point where I had blisters on my thumbs.
Good.
And then I put it into a
Romantic,
box, right? Then her
put your blisters in her box.
This is very specific. She confirm know if she watched.
my God,
So
oh my God.
her birthday is 22nd July. I folded 2,207 hearts.
Solid.
Wait, the
lah,
fact that you
bro.
remember her birthday is a bit crazy.
And then, it gets worse, And then, right, I made a video, right, on... No.
Baby.
Okay, don't say it. No, very shy.
Say!
I'll leave this for
You made a video what?
No,
You made a
please
video
say,
what?
please
Faster, you made a video
I'll
what?
leave our 200 episode, I tell
No,
you.
please say!
No, because, this girl, we weren't together yet. Then it's just like a confession video.
Oh.
So what was it? You upload or you send her or
No, I
what?
burned it into a CD.
What the hell?
Then like
Mixtape
the
vibes,
CD was in the box with the 2,207 hearts.
Did she accept
okay.
or reject you?
Reject.
Okay, no, it's actually a very sad story.
Okay, I think we don't have time, but
No, fast. I have time.
So the sad part, right? The sad part was that actually I was like folding this since like a month back. Then it was going quite well. But then after that, like, I think right before her birthday, then she decided like, okay lah, don't want. So then I was like, wow, full already. Full already, ma. So I still gave it to her, but I didn't change anything.
Oh man.
Even with the CD?
Yeah.
Or you keep the CD?
No, I give the
I swear, it's this girl, right, that made him into a cold-hearted man. Wow. Finish this sentence. I feel happiest when...
You're watching
Look around
Physical
you.
Asia.
Look around you to your right specifically, and then look around you what we're doing right now, then answer this question.
I feel happiest when I have time for the people I love.
She's talking about us. Cute. You didn't have to include us.
And also watching Physical Asia. This year, wow. Wow. Let me just say that.
Okay, let's hop back to the episode.
Do you guys think that extroverts and introverts experience loneliness differently?
I feel like it's more pronounced for extroverts. Like in the sense when they will make it known when they feel alone or lonely.
Example, how they make it known?
I think it's
They
like
post on Instagram story.
no. I think it's very
The black screen. Sigh.
yeah, maybe something like that.
Then they add the song. They add some song, some emo song.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a black screen. I'm like, of course, this again. Then people ask, what is it? Oh, nothing lah.
So I feel like introverts
They thrive being alone. Lor.
so I think they are okay being alone, but then the loneliness part, maybe I always feel that maybe it's a bit harder for an introvert to decouple the feeling of being alone and when you are lonely. Like to process the difference between being comfortable and being alone, and then when I'm truly feeling lonely, I find that sometimes that distinction is not super clear if you are a bit more introverted.
Whereas as an extrovert, it's very clear when you have company and you're not alone
Yeah,
versus that feeling of loneliness.
Correct.
I think. Okay.
I thought it would be the other way around because an introvert is so comfortable being alone that
Yeah,
they can't
that's why.
distinguish.
so if you're so comfortable with being alone, but yet there are other times when you feel lonely, then sometimes I think it's quite hard
conflicting
to...
feelings.
Yeah, it's
right,
conflicting.
You love
right.
your own company, but why are you lonely?
Whereas for extrovert, it's very black and white. Like a lot of times where there's a social event, there's a social setting, there's a social connection, not alone. Don't have all of that, alone. Alone equals lonely.
Equation.
So, touching on this, how do you think adults can make friends beyond work, networking circles, events like footnotes?
Thank you. Thanks for the plug.
Do people actually want to make new friends now? Like,
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
They
I think
do.
I was very surprised. When we hosted these events, right, I was like, oh, I don't think a lot of people will sign up. Hundreds. We had a question that states, why are you interested in this event? And a lot of them actually started like sharing their stories, their struggles of adulthood loneliness. And I think events actually do work. I've seen friend groups being formed after travel trips, right? And like even for our social mixers, I start to see girls actually like meeting outside of it. They go thrift shopping, they take photos together, they go out. So I do think that it actually works, but maybe some people might think that it's very curated.
formulaic and curated
Yeah.
and like manufactured.
I think it's not for everyone. But how else would they be able to make new friends?
I think it's because we all had that awkward stage long ago when we were with our current friends. There was that one stage where you're like, if I text her now, is it too much? And am I assuming she wants to talk to me also?
Oh, I have
felt this
never
way.
experienced that
With
with friends.
No,
Even at the beginning stage when you just met.
no leh.
Okay, I
You
guess.
accept all of me or you get none of me.
Okay, I think there's the anxiety of them rejecting your invite to meet. I'll be like, oh, whether they want to meet me or not.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Is this what I think it is, or is this just like an acquaintance
Correct.
kind of connection?
So that awkward stage we've already gone through years ago because
okay.
now we've all like gone very close, right?
I wanna make new friends.
is the you do?
Yeah, I don't mind. But then I tried to sign up for footnotes, right? Then
You've never done it. I've never seen your email. Okay, so
very exclusive.
short to it.
Very exclusive.
I think if anything, right, another way to make new friends is your friend group merge. Like maybe Joie bring her friends.
Oh.
Then you bring some friends. Yeah, I bring some friends for a party.
I thought you meant merch like hoodies and hats.
Oh no.
Yeah, like, how can that?
Merch.
So for people with busy lives, right, how can we be intentional about building new connections?
Oh, you know what? This is very, very niche. But at one point, I was streaming on TikTok Live. And it was to sell stuff, right? So I was selling beats on TikTok Live. And then a community formed. And they are always asking to make a Telegram group chat so I can post when I'm going live. Eventually, they started asking for group meetups to meet up and just hang out and grab lunch.
Compare beats.
And that's when because they all buy my beats,
Oh,
so
okay.
they all want to hang out. They want to hang out with each other because they will talk to each other in the group
Similar
chat.
interests.
Right.
They take turns being moderators of my life. So they will help welcome people. They'll tell them how to buy.
cute.
They tell them how to check out. They tell them the process so that I can continue serving the new people, the current customer, right? And they're teaching people, they're pinning the comment for me.
Free labors, yeah.
That's why.
And they are engaged every single night. And so then I realized Telegram group chat, sometimes I don't post that I'm live. They post that I'm live in the chat for me.
Wow.
So then I realized like Twitch moderators, YouTube moderators, these are people that are active every day. And they actually ask for meetups. And when they meet up, they hang out, right? And they continue these friendships both on and offline.
Wow.
So I think finding niches that you are passionate about is one way to do it. Whether it's a board game, meeting someone at like Otaku House, you know, those like anime shop.
If anything, I can think of how Nick made new friends. He was in a plant group on Facebook.
That is very true, actually.
So
Okay,
his friends are all
I
plant
totally forgot
friends.
about the entire phase of my life.
I
But
really remember for you.
no, so during COVID, my COVID hobby was exotic houseplants. It was a whole new world that I was like sucked into, you know. So it started from Googling how to take care of this plant, it's dying. Then, this other plant quite nice also. There's a Facebook group. People are selling, this one, you buy on Facebook from other people cheaper than you buy from somewhere else. That was when I re-downloaded Facebook. And then I started being active on Facebook and like joining groups and then contributing to Facebook group discussions, how to take care of this plant so it doesn't die. It like blew up into a offline thing also because there will be events at Hot Park. There's like Gardeners Day out. And parks, right, they would like allocate a space within Hot Park for booths where hobbyists, right, you can sell your little cuttings and plants. So then I had a booth, you know. I had two other friends. Like both guys Marcus and Russ. Russ, who officiated my wedding, by the way.
Yeah.
The three of us were the boys who grow. Then our tagline, right?
Grown-ups growing up.
No, we are our tagline was we are growers, not showers.
Oh my god, that's solid.
Solid.
Wow, funny.
So in this case, right, the plant was the fertilizer for you.
Correct. Then it was like, wow, it was such a big community to the point where now like I go on a trip with Marcus and Russ every year.
I've also made friends from my snowboarding trips, right? Then after that one trip, we actually planned our own trip. So I'm actually going for one more in December.
Wow. Oh yes, you
Yeah.
mentioned. I love that.
So I think it's just sometimes it's
find
just
hobbies.
about finding hobbies and then finding people that you can click with on a personal level that transcends those hobbies.
Yeah, but aside from hobbies, I think there are also organizations that connect people like Offline Singapore or Friend Zone.
I feel like if you are ready for a friendship, oh my god, this is very similar to dating actually. But you need to be willing to put yourself out there. You need to be willing to go and find friends, be sociable. As much as you know the qualities that you can bring to the table, other people don't. And it's not a given. And it's not something that you should expect them to immediately understand. I think sometimes online and through people's stories, right, we romanticize the idea of an instant connection. Like immediately we clicked, like we grabbed the same book or we were reading the same book or immediately like our language, our birth year, whatever. Like it's not always so quick
You
and
say your birth year.
did I say birth year? I don't know. I was on a little
horoscope.
spin. But you know what I mean? Like it's not always so frictionless or immediate.
So actually, what do you all think is one reassuring thing our listeners should remember about loneliness and adult friendships?
What's meant for you won't pass you by.
Wow.
And I think you'll eventually find your tribe.
I know it can get very tiring hearing people who already have their tribe say this, but I really only felt like very settled into my friendships in the recent years. And we are 30.
Yeah.
You know? Some people find their best friends at like 15, 16.
Right. And I think there's no deadline in terms of like finding your tribe, and there's no limit in terms of how many tribes you can have.
Don't compare yourself to others. If actually you don't feel lonely, you are alone but you don't feel lonely, right? then don't go and adopt the loneliness
Yeah.
from what you read online or see online.
Like you could be very happy in bed watching a rom-com on a Friday night, and then suddenly you see an IG story of other people hanging out, right? Then you suddenly feel really sad about it.
Yeah.
But actually your reality is that you're super glad to be at home.
Actually, if that happens, I ask that you like pursue that thought. Ask yourself, are you willing to put yourself out there? Are you willing to go out at night? Are you willing to spend the money to get dressed and go out? And more often than not, right? If you didn't want to, you would have. That's why you're not doing it. Because if you wanted to, you have already done it. Yeah. Thank you for joining us on The Hot Pot. You can also listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Me Listen.
And subscribe to our channel if you haven't already.
And share with us if you've ever encountered a lonely era. We'd love to hear that in the comment section down below.
And also, if you ever feel lonely, feel free to find us here on this channel. We are more than happy to chat with you and be your internet friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, comment.
Or maybe next year you can come to the Hot Pot gathering third year anniversary.
Then we can make new friends. There will be like thousands of people there.
Thousands. And we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Before we die,
Olivia, and I'm ready to die.
Okay. Sometimes I
love the physical command Z.
What are people saying now?
Is it 6, 7?